I'm not saying we've got to be in Afghanistan forever, but I am saying, did any of you throw your rank on the table and say, hey, it's a bad idea to evacuate Bagram Airfield, the strategic air base, before we evacuate everyone? Did anyone do that? And when you didn't think to do that, did anyone raise their hand and say, we completely messed this up?
Welcome back to Wake Up America. I'm Allison Maloney. Court-martialed, imprisoned, and discharged for publicly criticizing the Biden administration's botched withdrawal from Afghanistan. Our next guest may be turning to politics for a living. Joining us now is Lieutenant Colonel Stuart Scheller. Welcome back to Wake Up America, sir.
Good morning, Allison. Thanks for having me on.
Of course. First, thank you for your service. I do want to talk about, since your discharge, you've recruited a long list of candidates for office through your efforts with voteforvets.org. Tell us about that.
Yeah, if there's a bumper sticker, I think we need leaders, not politicians. Through my ordeal, I felt the leadership in Congress was lacking. And so I believe in uniting America. I think the hyper extremes on both sides of the party can be separated. And so really apolitically, I'm looking for leaders that can go up there and do the tough things. I am a conservative, but I want leaders. And so I went out and recruited 5 Senate candidates, 20 congressional candidates, mostly veterans, people that I think will go up there and do that, do the things we need. And so I've offered them financial support, different organization support, training, and that's how I plan to influence this election cycle.
That's great. I think a lot of people are excited about that. What better leader than having somebody who has served? You have mentioned plans to run for office in 2024 on a platform of foreign policy changes. Why wait to 2024?
I have been through a lot, Allison. There's things that I need to stabilize in my life. Like I said, I do plan on influencing the election cycle in 22 and being active. But I also think there's something to be said for assessing the landscape and picking my right spot by jumping in immediately home at North Carolina. So 24 also gives me the opportunity to look up and out and figure out where I can influence the most. So for a lot of reasons, I'm deciding to wait.
Sure. Hey, listen, it's all about a strategy, and that's what our great leaders should have. So I think you're smart to do that. You did enter a guilty plea to all charges in October. You received a general discharge this past December. What do you think can be done to make sure this doesn't happen to other service members?
So for me, it was binary. It was either plead guilty at special or go to general and plead not guilty. And I do feel like I had broke some of the rules by speaking out publicly against the leadership. And so I felt by not taking accountability, my message would have rang hollow. So I felt like I should be held accountable. I did what I did intentionally, so I didn't apologize for it. So the question, what do I think should happen to other service members? I think all service members should be held accountable if they break the rules. There needs to be order in the system. But my biggest problem was that senior leadership was not being held to the same standard as the junior service members, which is why I chose to speak out. So really, I think the question is, how do we negate the 2-tiered system of accountability that currently exists in the military? And that is a deeper and tougher question. And it starts with open conversations and identifying the problems that currently exist in the system.
Absolutely. Final question here. We have about 30 seconds. What would your message be to the voting public who may be hearing your story today for the first time?
I would say we need to be careful not to lionize American military generals. There are a lot of things that need to be addressed. There are fundamental issues that we're just not addressing within the military. So we need to take a hard look at the breakdowns at the operational level, the combatant commander level. General McKenzie in CENTCOM, there was no better military example of failure over the last 100 years than what just happened in Afghanistan. Then we also need leaders in politics that can hold people in the military accountable and do the things that we need to do.
Absolutely. Well, Lieutenant Colonel Stuart Scheller, we appreciate you coming on the show today, and thank you for your service, sir.
Thanks, Allison.
Of course. We'll be right back. You're watching Wake Up America, only on Newsmax.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, where real news for real people.